Good morning, students. Welcome to the virtual class of Gyaniketan Girls School. This is the continuation of the chapter Tribals during the Colonial Rule. Now, in the previous video, we have dealt with the impact of forest law and the trades on the tribal people, how they were affected by these laws which were implemented by the Britishers. Now, in today's video, we are going to deal with the revolts that were seen by the tribals to get over the suppression that were being done by the Britishers. Now, in the 19th century, many tribal groups arose in revolt against the Britishers, against their repressive policies, and there were certain rebellions that were seen in different parts of India, such as Coal Rebellion was seen in 1831 to 32, whereas Santhal rose in revolt in 1855. Bastar Rebellion was fought in Chhattisgarh that broke out in 1910, and the Worli Revolt was seen in Maharashtra in 1940. Now, information regarding all these revolts can be found in the folk song as well as the government record, and in some instances these tribal people regarded the leaders as the gods, means they considered these leaders of the uprising as gods representative on the earth. And on the other hand, the British government regard these revolts as unlawful activities to be suppressed with all forces. The Britishers regarded all these revolts that were carried out by the tribals as unlawful activities against the Britishers, so they tried to suppress these revolts. Now, there was particularly a man, Birsa Munda, who fought against the suppression of these Britishers and tried to come out of the forceful seizure of power by the Britishers. Now, see. In 1895, there was a man named Birsa Munda who was seen roaming in different forests and villages of Chota Nagpur in Bihar, but now in Jharkhand. And the people living there also said that he had some miraculous power, because they said that he could cure all the diseases and also could multiply the grains that were being cultivated in the tribal region. So they considered him as a miraculous power, and in fact, Birsa Munda himself declared that God had appointed him to cure all the people, to solve the people's problem, to save the people from trouble, and to free them from the slavery of Dikus. Now, who were the Dikus? Dikus were the outsiders who came on the land of the tribals and started to cultivate on their land and considered tribals' land as their own. Now, soon thousands of the followers started to follow Birsa Munda and believe that he was Bhagwan, means he was God, and have come to solve their problems and to take out all the problems of these people and take out these people from all the misery. Now, the Mundas were a prominent tribe in the Jharkhand region at that time. The Mundas were considered as very prominent in Jharkhand, and the Munda rebellion was led by this leader, that was Birsa Munda. Now, Birsa Munda was born in 1875 in Ulihatu in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Now, as a young man, Birsa Munda became very sensitive to the exploitation of the Mundas by the Britishers. Whatever Britishers were doing to these Mundas tribal group, Birsa Munda became very sensitive to these exploitation and wanted to change the system. Now, the Munda was very peace loving. They did not want any kind of war or conflict. They were very peace loving tribe, and the being regarded as Kunti Kattidar, means joint holder of land and forest, or clearer of forest, means Kunt Kattidar means clearer of forest or joint holder of land and forest. So they had always enjoyed the land authority, land right in their region by themselves, and under the Britishers they were denied these privileges by different peoples like Thekidars, Jagidars, officials, and moneylenders. They said that they were not in a position to take up the authority, take up the right, so all the rights were captured by these people. In 1894, the failure of the monsoon caused widespread starvation and epidemic in tribal region, particularly it was seen in Chota Nagpur. Now Birsa Munda dedicated all of his service towards the sick and starving people at the time, and all these people later gave him a title that was Dharti Aba, means father of the earth. Now early in life, earlier Birsa was very much influenced by Vaishnav preacher, the people who followed Vaishnav religion. Now he wore the sacred thread and began to value purity and pity. Okay, now he urged his followers to recover their glorious past, that is the Satyug, the age of the truth. He wanted that this Satyug should come over again. So he asked his followers to recover their glorious past. Now, during the Britishers' rule, many non-tribals migrated to the traditional tribal area and grabbed the land owned by these tribal groups. And at that time, the tribal groups compelled to work. At that time, they were forced to work as laborers under these non-tribal who had captured the land of the tribal people. And this system was particularly known as Bat Vigari or forced labor. This system was known as Batbigari or forced labor. Now, Birsa Munda strongly protested against these non-tribal, those who had occupied the land of the tribal people, and he also disliked the value of moneylenders and zamindars who ill-treated the Mundas, the tribal people who were in the Munda region, who belonged to Mundas. He advised the Munda farmer that not to pay rent to Zamindar to show their aggression, to show their anger against the Zamindars and moneylenders. Now, at that time, Birsa Munda, what he did, he started a revolt in Chota Nagpur region, and the main revolt took place in the regions that was in south of Ranchi in 1899 to 1900, and this movement came to be known as Ul Gulaw or Great Tumult, okay, which aimed in establishing Munda Raj by driving away the Britishers. Means through this revolt they wanted to overthrow the Britishers from the tribal region of Munda and take all the power and authority in their own hand. Now the entire Munda community joined together under this leadership. They attacked British officers, men's, women's, missionary, police stations. Now many Mundas, including men, women, and even children, fought with bows, arrows, and catapult to fell the British bullet. Means in front of Britishers' bullet, they fought with these weapons against the Britishers. And even, as I said, even the children were not spared. They also took part in this revolt. Now on January 9th, 1900, the rebels were defeated. The rebels in the Munda region were defeated. Birsa Munda was captured. He was put into prison, and in 1900 he died of cholera, and the movement faded out. Means the movement that they were carrying the Ul Gulaw to take the power in their hand, it faded away with the death of and the arrest of Birsa Munda. Now nearly 350 Mundas were at the time put on trial, and 3 of them were hanged also, just because they were protesting against the Britishers, and to show that the Britishers were the one who had power, they executed 3 of these tribal people. Now the government attempted to readdress the grievances of the Mundas, whatever they had done. To address these grievances, they came through settlement operation of 1902 to 1910. The Chota Nagpur The Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908 also was provided, and it provided some recognition to Kuntkati right and banned Bat Begari. It was in through this tenancy act, Bat Begari was banned in Chota Nagpur. Now, Chota Nagpur tribal won a degree of legal protection for their land and right. Means the Britishers were helping these tribal people to get over their right over the lands and the areas which were under these tribals. Now, beside the act, the government also initiated several different steps to bring the tribals and administration close to each other so that they could work together with each other and help each other in different way. Now, the government officials were stationed closer to the Munda village so that they could quickly react to the grievances of the tribal. Whenever the tribal needed them, they could quickly react to those needs. Now, the rebellion also contributed in growing the socio-economic consequences among the tribals in Chota Nagpur, and Birsa Munda was considered at that time because due to him only the Mundas got their right in front of by the Britishers. So Birsa Munda was considered as hero, and some people began to consider him as divine and began to worship him at that time, because he was the only reason due to which they got their right over the land. However, the movement was very much significant in two different ways were there through which we can say that this revolt was very significant. The very first was that the British government introduced laws so that tribal land could not be easily taken away by Dikus. Okay, Dikus could not give away the land. Now, second was that it proved that tribal people had the capacity to protest against injustices and express their anger against colonial rule. Means through the second thing, it was very much clear that these tribal people was not incapable. They were very much capable to speak for them, to work for them, and come up with a revolt if needed. So it was very clear to the Britishers, and so they came up with a solution and settlement with the tribal. So this was how the tribals and Britishers worked. What was the condition of tribals during the Britishers rule? I hope you got the chapter. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Please, for more such videos, for more such explanation of chapter, you can like, subscribe and share the videos. Thank you and have a nice day.